Okay, so I'm gonna try and make this video as brief as possible. Uh, all I want to really address today is the current state of the Hotswap meta post Witch Queen, and how I believe the introduction of the exotic, the Dead Messenger, could potentially change, well, everything. Um, Currently, the Hotswap meta, for anyone wondering that isn't aware somehow, the Hotswap meta would be a quick draw hand cannon with Le Monarch. With Le Monarch's addition of a catalyst, for those of you who didn't know, Le Monarch got a catalyst, which adds Unrelenting. But Le Monarch is kind of king when it comes to hot swapping. The potential to burst and then instantly finish up with a hand cannon is essentially unrivaled, along with the damage over time that Le Monarch adds and the group effect. Le Monarch's been unrivaled in the hot swap meta, you could say, since the day it came out. That was until Witch Queen, where I believe the Dead Messenger could now represent a new form of the hot swap meta. To explain very briefly, the main difference between Le Monarch and the Dead Messenger, the new grenade launcher, which can switch elements, is with Le Monarch, it is more about peak shotting. Let's say you're dueling a hand cannon up there in the corner. The point is to peek with Le Monarch. When it times, swap, get the insta kill. If you don't get the kill, you can continue to peek from relative safety. This doesn't always work nor fit people's playstyle. A lot of the time, people don't really like to sit behind cover and just peek over and over again with a bow, even if they enjoy Le Monarch. Personally, I enjoy Le Monarch. A lot of times that playstyle feels not too fun to play. And I think that's part of the reason why you don't see Le Monarch everywhere, because I'll be honest, the hop swap peak is so annoying and powerful that I'm surprised not more people do it. But I think it's how slow Le Monarch has to play is probably one of the very large factors on why people don't use it. But the Dead Messenger 100% solves that problem. Specifically on Titan, that's what I'm going to be showing off today with it, and the Peacekeepers. So the factor that makes Dead Messenger be able to do the hop swap meta is using Peacekeepers on Titan. You instantly get quick draw on all SMGs. And 73 handling on a grenade launcher is quite good, to be frank. It allows for essentially Le Monarch speed quick swapping, because if we look at Le Monarch here, Le Monarch has a 72 handling, and this has 73. Their handlings are essentially identical, meaning that the speed that you're going to swap instantly to your submachine gun is essentially the same as it would be with Le Monarch and a hand cannon with quick draw, except you don't need quick draw when it comes to the Peacekeepers. You can simply swap to them. And on top of that, as you can see, literally you can visually see on my screen, as I slow down, like how slow I am, then I pull this out, my screen literally moves. The FOV widens because of the major speed boost I gain when I swap to this. This completely changes the hot swap meta, because the hot swap meta before, peak shotting, which Le Monarch is significantly better at this than any form of SMG would ever be. But you don't need that anymore, because now, if the man is standing here, instead of having to, peak shot with Le Monarch, you can easily make your way over using the absurd movement that Peacekeepers give you, and boom, shoot the floor, finish off the submachine gun. It's so easy, and it's, to be honest, I don't want to say it's broken, because this is something you've been able to do with wave frames the whole time. The difference is this one, with the naturally high handling stat, and the fact that it's essentially has 3 times the chance of getting multi-kills and or dealing significant meaningful damage for your team, because, well, it shoots 3 in a line. This one just feels 100 times better. I'm not gonna lie. I have used the other wave frames. I believe the one is called Explosive Personality, the new one that was just added this season. I have used that one, and I have used this one. And this one feels 100 times better between the handling and between how easy it is to get that 130 damage that it deals when you shoot at the ground. It is so unbelievably easy to... The only issue I would see with this weapon, the reason why it might not become, air quotes, the hot swap meta, would be that a very good player is going to know and recognize that you have one of these, and is just going to equip their Stompies and or Top Tree Dawnblade, or even just Catapult Titan, and they're just never, ever going to touch the ground. They're never, ever going to give you that opportunity. They will, the second they touch the ground, they will jump around and make your life miserable when using this thing. It is the only downside I see. Other than that, this is essentially Lay Monarch without needing the peak shot and instant damage with 0 aim required. Someone's right there, you simply run up, jump up in the air, always jump in the air before you use this thing. For obvious reasons, to make yourself harder to hit, and the fact that, you know, it's easier to shoot down at the floor than straight ahead. So you roll up, you jump up in the air, you shoot the thing, you hot swap, you finish the kill. So easy. It's really, really good. I think we might see a lot of it. I'm going to talk one other build here in a second with it, but I believe the main one we are going to see is with Peacekeepers on Titan. This build is nasty. I'm not going to lie. It is Stomp Fest, super speed. The only drawback, I would say, is this thing does have to be reloaded after every shot. But the reload time isn't really very long at all. And the potential for multi-kills, the ease of use, and the fact that you can get kill clip going on a gun like the Multi-Mach, I think the upsides are so good that there are scenarios where it's 100% worth using over Lay Monarch. I genuinely believe that. Furthermore, with the Titan, the build is infinitely versatile because all you really need is either a Multi-Mach or, to be frank, any high handling primary kinetic weapon will work. But I think Multi-Mach is the best in slot for this, especially considering you can use the Peacekeepers with Multi-Mach. So for this hot swap build, I believe Multi-Mach is best in slot. But all you really need is high handling stats on both your weapons. You can get that through Elemental Capacitor, Quick Draw, whichever means you decide to do so. And I do believe Behemoth Titan would be the best for the pure dueling of this build. I use Diamond Lance specifically because it's fun. No other reason other than it's fun. Obviously, Cryoclasm, Tectonic Harvest, you know, Whisper of Rhyme. Everybody knows the Rhyme Titans, right? So that could work with this. I genuinely believe a build with the Dead Messenger can be competitive. I really do believe that. I believe Stasis Titan is probably the best because the movement between the slide, between, you know, the melee, how good the melee is. I'm using Cold Snaps because I was using Diamond Lance, but you don't have to use Cold Snaps. It's just, you don't even need your ultimate with this build. Like, Behemoth Titan already felt amazing with SMGs. This just takes that to the absolute next level. I think this Multi-Mach, Dead Messenger, Hot Swap combo is really, really hard to beat in dueling 1v1s, especially when they don't know you have it. So right now, I'm talking, like, before people start using this combo is when it is most lethal. Because as soon as people start learning that, you know, they can just jump up in the air and avoid the wave frames, yeah, they're not going to be as good, but they're still really good, though. They're still really good for area control, for denial, for... This duelist build before was always just Multi-Mach shotgun. Well, now you don't need the shotgun. Now you can just instantly shoot the ground, insta-swap, get your kill clip, and it's over. The whole enemy team's dead. The Teraba would be in slot, so it wouldn't work. But this build has always been done with Teraba. Now, so it can be done without it, essentially. With the time to kill is ridiculous. When you shoot the ground and just instantly blast away, it's just... And the best part, in my opinion, is the fact that this build can be done purely hipfire. You do not need to aim in, which actually gets rid of the need to use Ultimach if you prefer another SMG. Cold Front is a very good one. Cold Front is the only kinetic SMG in the game, as far as I'm aware, that can roll Swashbuckler, which I'll get into Swashbuckler in a second. But Cold Front with this is pretty nasty, because the hipfire on Cold Front's already pretty good, and it already has pretty decent handling. The only concern I ever had was its 13 zoom stat, which is really bad on SMGs. Obviously, I believe that's the same as Risk Runner. 13 zoom is not good, but zoom is irrelevant when you're just hipfire, and that's all you need to do with this build, because you shoot the ground instantly, and then you hipfire, and that is that. They're instantly dead. It is so fast. I did say I was going to mention another build revolving around Swashbuckler, and that is going to be with the new Sentinel tree, with Shield Bash. Peregrine Greaves are extremely underrated. I'm surprised I don't see more Titans running around with one-hit shoulder charges. But shoulder charge has always been an absolutely phenomenal movement ability, and now this takes it to the next level. So as I said, Cold Front with Swashbuckler would be the optimal setup here, because you don't even need Peacekeepers, because the handling of SMG is already super high. But any primary with Swashbuckler in the kinetic slot can become an absolute dual monster with the Peregrine Greaves combo on this. In this case, this little tiny little sidearm becomes so lethal with Swashbuckler on it when you do this, because all it takes is, yet again, you're out here, you're dueling with your wave frame, right? So let's say your first kill's right here, right? Somebody's standing right here, they're peeking in the corner. All you have to do, jump up in the air, hit them with this, dead, right? It's that simple. They're instantly dead, like no other repercussions. Then you run over here and you see another person peeking with the sniper. You manage to get over here, hit him with the shoulder charge. Make sure you have your spoiler alert out, not like I just did. So you hit him with the shoulder charge, you have your spoiler alert out, you have Swashbuckler times 5. Now, you run in here, anybody else around, insta-dead. It's that simple. It really works. I'm not going to sit here and act like the spoiler alert is the best weapon for this. Its range is pretty abysmal on sidearms, but its handling stat is an 82, which is essentially quick draw. I mean, like, essentially. 80 is just, it's damn near instant. It's pretty good. So anything with high quick draw, high handling, and Swashbuckler in the primary spot is an absolutely nasty build with the new shoulder charge. One thing I'd like to highlight is, let us say you are rushing and you see somebody is heavy here. You come from this angle so they don't see you come. They're picking up heavy, and then by the time they see you, you already have your shoulder charge built up. You shoulder charge them, you get their heavy, you can instantly slide back into cover and boom overshield. This is absolutely, if you don't want to run a Swashbuckler build and you don't like stasis, so because you don't like stasis, you don't want to run the Peacekeepers. Peacekeepers can run without stasis, but I do believe it is best in slot on stasis. But if you don't want to run either of these, if you either just don't have good rolls, or you just don't like these exotics, maybe you don't like SMGs, maybe you have a God Roll hand cannon that you want to use instead for your hot swapping, because you maybe you're like me, and you've always had a steady hand that you could easily just hot swap with, and you've always used it with Lay Monarch, you want to continue using that weapon. Okay, that's fine. Just equip your normal gear, and then use Crest of Alpha Lupi. This is probably, in my opinion, the most slept on exotic in the game, especially with this new Void Tree, because it is just disgusting. When you can slide, peek shot, get your 3-tap, your 1 HP, boom, overshield, full health, it's over. Like they rush you, they peek you because you're 1 HP, their teammate calls out, you're 1 HP, no you're not. You're literally full health. Because you heal half your actual HP through putting down your barricade, half your actual HP with Crest Alpha Lupi, and then you get the overshield on top. It is quite literally a full. Titan is in an amazing spot after these changes. Witch Queen has been pretty good. I'd borderline say that the overshield, with how easy it is to proc and how easy it is to get barricade, is borderline OP. But with how often hunters have been, dominating with that damn invisibility where you can't even see where they are 90% of the time, I don't think it'll get nerfed. At least, maybe not. Bubble also comes stupid fast, so that's another factor. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight this amazing weapon, the Dead Messenger. Bungie did an amazing job. This is the best in slot by a long shot for the wave frames. If you are using a wave frame, you should be using the Dead Messenger. The only excuse not to is if you want to use Ace of Spades. I believe Ace Spades, Thorn, Hawkmoon, I believe those are the only exceptions. If you're not using one of those weapons, you should give up your exotic slot for the Dead Messenger if you want to use a wave frame. I believe it is worth that slot. I genuinely do. Lay Monarch is obviously still very good, especially with this catalyst. It's going to be absolutely insane once I finish it. So, you know, if you're just a Lay Monarch hot swap head, that's fine. But if you ever want to feel changing up your playstyle, there is another 100% viable option besides bows now. And it is the Dead Messenger. And it is so fun to run around shooting this thing at the floor and insta-killing people. It is an insta-gib. I would not be surprised if they nerfed this thing, despite the fact that I don't feel it needs a nerf. I would not be surprised if it happened, just because of how annoying it is to deal with. People do not know how to deal with this right now because they're not used to seeing wave frames this often. Maybe this build doesn't become super popular because people just don't like hot swapping. They just prefer dueling with their primary, you know, their Hawkmoons, their Thorns, their Ace of Spades. That's fine, but this build is 100% viable. I'd go ahead and say it could be potentially meta. I really do believe that. This gun is amazing. I'm going to kill myself real quick so I can show you one more time just how awesome the firing pattern of it is. But yeah, I believe this could be the new hot meta. It would be the Dead Messenger with a submachine gun. Just throwing something random. Peacekeepers, Stasis. Cryoclasm would 100% be the best choice by a long shot. But as I said before, Diamond Lance is super fun. I think it is the most fun, like, in the game. Is just running around trying to get Diamond Lance. It keeps me playing Crucible all day. So I'll be using that in this example. But Cryoclasm with the longer slide is definitely the move. Though you do get a longer slide once you equip Peacekeepers, as you can see. But man, the combos for this are infinite. I'd also like to mention, Howl of the Storm, super underrated with this thing. Because Howl of the Storm, one of the biggest problems with Howl of the Storm is you do this and they're frozen and they're inside the crystal when you freeze them. Well, here's your simple solution. That's it. They're dead. This thing is amazing. It genuinely is an amazing weapon. It's super underrated. Last thing, real quick. Path to the Burning Steps. You bet it works with the solar mode. You bet it does. Titans, you should be in love with this thing. You should be absolutely in love with the Dead Messenger. It is awesome. The Catalyst with Turnabout is obviously nice to have too. I don't have it yet, but I'm sure I won't get it. This weapon's awesome, especially if you're a Titan main. Go crazy with this thing. That's all. Thank you.